Today, I'll be presenting my paper on the topic Kamakhya Devi Temple. Kamakhya Devi Temple, also known as Kamrup Kamakhya Temple, simply because it is located in Kamrup district, is a Hindu temple which is dedicated to Mother Mahamaya or Kamakhya. It is one of the most ancient Shakti Pithas called as Adi Pitha, and it lays down the practice of Tantricism and power worship. The goddess here is primarily worshipped in the shape of a yoni stone. This non anthropomorphic cult is a result of cross cultural dialectic between the tribes and the Vedic and heterodox Brahmanic traditions. Hence, the very origin and the presence of this cult is central in understanding the socio political, religious, cultural, and economic dimensions at work in this region. This paper talks about the origin and establishment of Devi Kamakhya worship, the process of subsequent absorption of this local deity into Orthodox Hinduism, the architecture and sculptures of Kamakhya temple. It also talks about the implications of site conservation and religious tourism. Geographically speaking, Kamakhya Devi Temple is situated in the Kamrup Metro district of Guwahati, Assam. The temple stands on a hill called Nilachal Hill or Kamagiri in the southern bank of the river Brahmaputra with an elevation of 771 feet. The temple complex is well connected with roads, and Nilachal Hill is a house to many sacred shrines. This slide shows the picture of the location of Kamakhya Devi Temple along with distribution of sacred shrines on Nilachal Hill. Origin and establishment. The history of Devipith Kamakhya is closely connected with the stages of the history of the land and is primarily explained through myths and Puranic tales. So, the two most popular myths which are being associated with the origin of Kamakhya Devi Temple are the great sacrifice of Daksha and the king Narakasura. So, the basic storyline of the great sacrifice of Daksha goes somewhat like this. Daksha decided to perform the great sacrifice and invited all the beings except for Shiva and Sati. Sati became furious and decided to sacrifice her life through the tapas or jumping into the sacrificial fire. After knowing this, Shiva was overwhelmed by pain and anger and he destroyed the sacrifice held by Vibhadra. The deities, on the other hand, were afraid of Shiva's destructive power, and hence Shani, Brahma, and Vishnu decided to cut the corpse of Sati into several halves. The places where Sati's corpse fell developed into pithas. Her yoni fell on Kamagiri, and hence the yoni worship started there. Talking about Narakasura, he was the son of Prithvi and Varaha avatar of Vishnu. After his birth, King Janaka looked after him, and by the age of 16, Naraka, along with his mother and father, migrated to Kamrupa. With the help of Vishnu, he defeated the Kairata tribes and started worshipping Kamakhya Devi. Later, under the influence of Banasura, who was the Bodo king of Tejpur, he grew irreligious and asked Kamakhya to marry him. Kamakhya agreed on a condition that he has to construct a temple along with a staircase for her in a single night. However, Narakasura failed to accomplish the task, and this is how the initial construction of Kamakhya Devi temple is said to have been started. Now we find mention of these stories in many of the Puranic texts such as the Brahma Purana, the Kurma Purana, Linga Purana, etc., and also in many of the regional texts such as Kalika Purana, Devi Bhagavata Purana, etc. The mention of the temple of Kamakhya in the medieval time is said to have been around 16th century when Vishwasinha, who was a king from the Koch tribe of modern Koch Bihar, rediscovered it and promised to restore it if he wins a battle. Vishwa's son Naranarayana and his brother took up the task of rebuilding the temple in 1565. Finally, it was Rudra Sinha who picked up from where Naranarayana left and invited a Brahman to initiate the cult worship. Now I'll be talking about the worship of the cult and its absorption into the Hindu fold. So the Yoni goddess, as per scholars, was being imported into Assam by the Austroasiatic population from Southeastern Asia. This is because the Austroasiatic people were commonly associated with the worship of a sexual fetish. The Kalika Purana and the Yogini Tantra, on the other hand, also state that before the Indo-Aryan migration, that happened in northeastern India, the tribes in ancient Assam practiced a Kairata Dharma, which involved the ritual consumption and use of alcohol, meat, and blood. Thus, the connection of Kamakhya with highly polluting elements such as blood, sexual fluid, violent sacrifices, etc., which were prohibited by the Vedic ritual prescription, again ascertain the Assamese religiosity of the cult. Scholars also point out the possibility that the mythological conquest of Assam, headed by the king Naraka, might also symbolize one of the early Indo Aryan migration waves that affected northeastern India. Indeed, the kings who came after Naraka claim descent from him, thus drawing a lineage from Vishnu directly. So we find an active role of state formation being happening, and the kings to legitimize their rule is trying to patronize the local cult of the area. And this is how the absorption of the cult took place into the Hindu fold. Talking about the architecture of the temple, it is a Nagara style architecture with a shikhara or a tower over the Garbhagriha. The temple is architecturally representative of the cosmic Purusha, and in its vertical extension consists of three parts, which are the Adhisthana or the base, the Garbhagriha or the middle portion, and the Shikhara or the spire. The temple is further divided into four interconnected parts, that is the Vimana, the Chalanta, the Pancharatna, and the Natyamandir. The Vimana is the area where we find the Garbhagriha. The Chalanta is the area where movable idols of the goddesses and the consort are placed. Pancharatna is the area where ritualistic elaborations are being conducted, and Natyamandir is notable because of its hall with elephant back shaped roofing with a Garuda bird placed above. Talking about the sculptures that we find in the Kamakhya Devi temple, it varies from religious to secular to flora and fauna to geometrical designs. An important aspect of these images is the depiction of emotions to expressions, pose, and gestures. This is because of the influence of Tantricism, where the images of gods and goddesses show a tendency to be terrific and in destructive form. In this slide, you can see the religious sculptures of the temple. Here, you can see the secular along with the floral and faunal designs of sculptures in the temple. Vulnerability and damage assessment of the Kamakhya Devi temple complex. So the site stands on a Nilanchal hill, and recent cases of rampant encroachment by local people have caused a major problem to the temple. There is hardly any space left due to such widespread encroachment, and because of this, cases of landslides are increasing in this area day by day. Another form of encroachment is the presence of huge number of shops and smaller vendors blocking the entrance of the temple. The third major challenge is the disposal of waste, including plastic waste, from the site. The challenge becomes much bigger during Ombubashi Mela, where every year thousands of tourists pay a visit to the shrine. However, efforts have been made by the local temple authorities to regulate the waste management. Waste generated from offerings like flowers, fruits, etc., are being treated in compost plant. Fourthly, the vermilion applied to almost all the sculptures in the wall of the temple by the devotees, along with the soot from diyas and incense sticks, also pose a serious problem to the structure of the temple. Apart from this, the Naitya Mandir has been worst hit by open excretion of birds, especially pigeon, on the roof of it. The biggest challenge comes from the temple authorities. The temple authorities have been engaged in unplanned construction both inside and outside the main temple, which has robbed of its all beauty. While most of the old pillars have been replaced with RCC constructions, more building works like security checking points, watchtower, baby care, and restroom, etc., are being carried out by the committee without the knowledge of Archaeological Survey of India. Thus, I would like to conclude by saying that Kamakhya is a religious and historical landmark of the country, and hence a systematic exploration and scientific approach needs to be undertaken for the greater benefit, not only just for the monument but also to help in boosting religious tourism in the area. A solution to the conservation of the temple complex is required to preserve and protect the site from further deterioration. This can be achieved by pre existing organizations like the Kamakhya Temple Trust working in hand with ASI or other experts and conservationists. Thirdly, the revenue for the conservation of the temple can also be maximized by undertaking a project which would connect all the 25 shrines present in the Nilanchal Hill. This would further ensure that enough revenue generation takes place and the temple is in good state. Thank you.